Hey Crushers, Young here, and today's video is going to be covering some of the top tricks and tips I have for you as of January 2020, in celebration of the new year. Before we get started, if you have any questions or comments after watching this video, I would encourage you to leave them in the comment section below, or you can reach out to me through the official Discord, which you can reach through the settings of the game located here in the community section. I would also ask you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. That way you can catch all my videos when they come out and stay up to date on all the latest Crush Them All news and information. We're going to start off with discussing some commons worth building up. Common heroes are especially important early on, and the advice currently is to pick either Skeleton Giant or Spike and focus solely on that hero until it is maxed at 7 stars. You can do that with the usage of magic medals, as well as requesting medals for that hero in the in your guild chat. But you're going to want to focus on them until that hero is maxed at 7 stars. It would be worth awakening that selected hero to the 5th awakened star, then work on the other one. So if you start with Skeleton Giant, focus on that first, and then do Spike. If you focus on Spike, do that first, and then focus on Skeleton Giant. Once you have them to 7 stars, you can awaken them to the 5th awakened star, and that's not going to hurt you, and it's not going to hurt your progress whatsoever. Focusing on that. That'll help you be more successful in PvP modes, such as Arena and Guild Wars, but very specifically in Arena, it will allow you to start earning more star shards, which are needed for awakening your heroes. So ultimately, they'll help you farm that ever so important aspect. Both of those heroes should have a weapon level of 6, which is to say you can then equip 2 sets of item, or 2 sets of runes. That's a bad example because I haven't built that one. Here we go. And you can just go for a simple build such as this. You can get the Weapon Catalyst Rare and Weapon Catalyst Epic items from the Blitz mode. So if you're looking for those items which are needed for upgrades, it's this item here and this item here. You can get them from Blitz. And I mean, that's one of the reasons why Blitz is so important. I've made a video in the past called So You Want to Be a Blitz Star. I'm going to link that in the comments section below. That guide is still fairly relevant, though I will add here that you should be targeting teams of commons or mostly common heroes, as those will be the easier battles, which is different than the advice that I gave in that video. The next major tip that we're going to be covering today is going to be on what hero to invest heavily into without fear of degradation of value. That hero specifically is going to be Atlantis. He is a Crusher hero. He's available from the Crusher chest, the Mad King Crusher chest specifically. I'd recommend buying Tier 3 or Tier 4 of his chest every time he comes around. Max out his weapon, level 9. And awaken him as much as you can. You can see I've got mine maxed out. It's max at 7 stars with 7 awakens. He's a very strong PvP hero, and he will do wonders for you in the Mad King event as well. The reason why Atlantis is solid for PvP is because he is of the water element, and there aren't usually very strong earth heroes until you hit endgame like Legendary 2 and Legendary 3 Arena. He can deal stun damage, which is beneficial, but what makes him so sought after is his anti-stun ability. He cannot be stunned. Building a good Atlantis takes time. Fortunately, I've made a video about recommended rune builds for Crusher heroes, and I'll link that below so you can check it out. The focus for Crusher chest is generally considered to purchase Tier 3 or Tier 4 of Atlantis and Sorrow, Tier 2 or Tier 3 of Furiosa, and Tier 1 or Tier 2 of Gruvine and One Eye, just depending on what you can actually afford based on your Flu's income. So those are some things to keep in mind regarding that. Next up, getting the right materials for the Awakens and expeditions that you're needing can be accomplished right here in the Expeditions tab. If you're not seeing the material that you're needing to farm, you can search for something different by clicking the refresh button here. It's this button right here. I'm highlighting it right now. You can refresh and a new right there comes up, which I am actually needing earth, so that was quite lucky. Getting the right materials is a RNG dependent factor, but it usually doesn't take terribly long to find the right materials for your needs. The next topic that I want to cover today is going to be guild raid survival. So that would be surviving in guild raids. With the two-team function, you can have a defensive team, which is what this is for surviving, and this is an offensive team for dealing damage. I don't know what I took out there, so I'll have to dig through in a little bit to figure out what that was. But surviving is what I was going to show you guys anyway. So one of the things that you want to make sure that you're doing is doing things like turning off your game speed, which I currently do not have any additional speed running, and then doing the 300 energy attacks and keeping your shields going as needed for survival. You just need to survive 45 seconds. You do not have to do anything beyond that, so keep that in mind. I have made an in-depth video focusing on guild raid survival. If you want to learn more about surviving in guild raid events, please check out that video, and I'll link that in the description below this video. Join an active guild that's going to help you reach new heights each week. Joining an active guild is very important to growth, and I strongly recommend taking the time to find a group of people that you can grow and thrive with. Now, another thing that I want to cover in today's video is not regarding raid events at all. It is going to be regarding the lucky spin function of the game, which you can access up here, the lucky spin slot machine. In order to win the jackpot, you have to get 3 princesses while using the elite mode. You cannot win the jackpot using 1 token at a time. So do not ever waste a slot token by using them 1 at a time. Furthermore, I recommend saving your spin tokens up until the jackpot exceeds 10,000 flues. It doesn't increase your odds of winning, but wouldn't you rather win 10,000 flues than 3,000 flues? I know I would. The next thing that I want to cover in today's video are runes in general. So, runes are one of the most important things in the game when it comes to growth and building your heroes. Once you get to where you have a healthy pool of runes, it's going to take a little bit of general rune maintenance on a regular basis in order to actually get anything accomplished. So there are several things you can do to make that general rune maintenance a little bit more tolerable. One is sorting by stars, and then going to the bottom of your list. As I mentioned, once you have a somewhat healthy pool built up, you can essentially do what I'm about to show you. So I'll quickly open a few of these just so I can show you that example. That should be enough. Sort by stars, then click the Break Runes button, just to make things a little simpler for yourself. Scroll all the way down, and these 1-star and 2-star runes, I'll stress for the 3rd time, once you have a decent rune pool built up, and you have a good variety of 3-star runes, there's no need to keep the 1-star and 2-star runes because it's not worth investing rune dust. You can start dusting the 1- and 2-star runes without checking them because you'll almost exclusively be using runes that are at least 3 stars or above from this point forward. Rune dust is very valuable, so you're going to want to save it for your important runes. Dusting 1- and 2-star runes is also going to provide a rune dust income as well. Likewise, most 6-star runes are quite honestly going to be going unused by you. So frequently check and see if there are any that you'll never use and dust those too. The reason I'm saying this is because it costs about 1 million rune dust to max a 6-star rune. Realistically, your best runes are going to be your 4-star runes, which cost only around 100,000 rune dust to max. So focus on maxing the best 4-star runes you have for your best PvP and Crusher heroes such as like Atlantis, Vlad, Sorrow, and Gladiator. Another thing I'd like to address in today's video is arena coin usage. So if you go into the arena shop, there's a few different options here. Arena coins are earned by winning battles in the arena. The generally recommended purchase order is Dark Hunter medals, then Monkey King medals, and then the ×2 Prism item. If you're really trying to be conservative and frugal, then you'll not worry about Dark Hunter, and you'll just focus on maxing Monkey King and then getting the ×2 Prism event item. Meaning that you're focusing on receiving Dark Hunter medals from other sources, such as Daily Dungeons and the Sorrow Crusher chest. Either way really is fine. It just comes down to how you're wanting to play in that regard. Next up, I wanted to briefly touch on a couple of consumables. There are consumables right here in the Artifacts tab that you get from events such as the Lunar New Year event. You can see here's some of those right there. It's one of the seasonal events that provide those. But specifically, we are looking at the Prism and the Hibernate consumables. Now, the Hibernate and Prism consumables should be used together in conjunction with Princess Dreams. And these should be used during the ×2 Prism events. Do it during a period of time where you can devote just focus to staging and ascending. The Fastlane package giving these time jump items would also prove beneficial for you as well for this combination. Just make sure you're keeping the Princess Dream up, however, because its time gets used as you use the time skip items. So if I was to use like the 4-hour time jump 2 right here twice, it would fully consume the 7 hours of Princess Dream that I just activated. So keep that in mind as you're using those, but that would be the most beneficial way of using those consumables. And now finally, as I conclude today's video, I would like to take a moment to encourage you to look through the playlists that I've made over the past couple of years and review some of the videos that I've made covering specific aspects of the game. There are some really great resources available right here on this channel, and I'd really like it if you would just take the time to look through those and see if there's something that I've already covered that would help you improve at the game in some way. Now, as far as acknowledgements go, I would like to give special acknowledgement to King Richard for making the thumbnail for today's video. I'd like to thank the Discord users who helped contribute to the compiling of topics covered here today, and I'd like to give a thanks to all of you watching my videos and continuing your support. In my next video, I'll be covering the Lunar New Year event and the new hero featured in that event, so stay tuned for that video, which should be coming within a couple of days. And thanks for watching.